Hey guys, this is Ofo, and today I have a PU battle for you, and it was actually a pretty good match. It had some hacks in it, but I still thought it was definitely worth posting, and it's against Moie, I believe it was. So, without further ado, I don't have much to say beforehand, so let's get into the battle. So I decided with my Haunter because in team preview, I saw a Swoobat in the lead spot, and because of that, I knew that those guys like to nasty plot or calm mind up to get +3 or +2 because of simple. I think that's what it's called. So I don't want that happening. I don't want him setting up. So I do just go for Shadow Ball right away and do at least massive damage with it. Now it is +2 special defense, but that is still stab. And Haunter has pretty good special defense, means special attack despite being pre-evolution. So my opponent does go for Psychic now, which knocks me down to my Sash. However, I do have that Sash, obviously, so I'm able to just go for another Shadow Ball next turn and take that Swoobat out. So that's a massive threat, just gone right away, which is pretty cool. So, yep, there goes the Swoobat. Now my opponent goes into Dustox, I believe that's what this Pokemon is. I go for a Destiny Bond because I don't really know what these things do, but I do decide just to go for that because I thought he was just going to take me out with like a Bug Buzz or, something like that. But instead, I see Quiver Dance, and seeing that, I know that I do not want this Dustox setting up too much. So I do go for Shadow Ball just to gauge how much it's going to do. It is +1 special defense, but I was hoping to do more than that. And seeing that damage, I know I'm not going to be able to beat this thing one-on-one, especially if it has Roost. So I do switch out here and go into my, I go into, what, God, Maykaga, that's this thing's name. And because I do have the super effective Fire-type move. But my opponent keeps on setting up, which is not good for me, so that means I need to deal with this thing with my Maykaga, or I have to count on my Evolved form of Purloin. I still don't know what that guy's called from last battle, but I need to rely on him for a Sucker Punch to kill, which I don't really want to do, so I do go for a Flamethrower here. Now, I don't have any special attack investment, but it is stab and super effective, but of course, this Dustox is at +3 now, which means that it's actually not going to be doing much at all. So that's not good. So at this point, essentially I'm just fishing for a critical hit, or I'm hoping that this Dustox doesn't have Roost, because if it does, then all this damage is, essentially negligible, and it's getting up to +3 or 4 special attack, defense, and speed. But super fortunately for me, I do get a crit on the second attempt. Now, I do want to talk about that, because that is a huge game changer. So, the reason I don't think that's as big is because the only attacking move my opponent said that Dustox had was Bug Buzz. Of course, I crowd resist it, and I have max HP. So, and I do have Recover, so I think eventually a crit was inevitable. And, so, unfortunately, if my Maykaga wasn't able to take it out, it probably could have swept, because my opponent did say that that Dustox did have Iron Defense, which means that my, my Dark type with Sucker Punch would not have done anything to it, so that's not good. But luckily I did get a crit. So, what happened here? I think he went into Zarbok. I was predicting the, Earthquake, so I go into my, God, I'm horrible with names for some reason. I go into my water ground type and go for substitute, because I'm thinking you might want to switch out, because I don't really know what an Arbok can do against a water type, especially because I do have Earthquake. So I do set up a sub, and that's good for me because he does switch out into his Dodrio, and that allows me to get an easy, a big hit off with Hidden Power Ice. So that isn't going to kill despite Dodrio's frailty, because I'm not Life Orbed or Extra Belted. So it's not going to kill, but it's going to do a pretty good chunk, and it's going to mean that this toxic damage from that he got from Toxic Orb is going to be adding up pretty fast. So I am actually this turn I do predict a Facade, because obviously it is Toxic Orb, which means he's going to want to take use of that, and also I know that a Drill Peck will not take him out, so I was expecting him to switch up. He moves, he did. Unfortunately, he does just take me out this following turn, but that's fine. I didn't want to switch because I knew that I actually expected a Pursuit, so whatever. But his Dodrio does die, which is kind of my plan, and that Haunter was pretty much fodder to begin with. So, now I go out in my Granbull. He goes out into his very similar normal type. Now, we both have close combat. Now, I know he's going to outspeed, but my hope here is that I can survive a close combat, which I do with 15 HP, which is just amazing. That's so cool. And then take him out with my own close combat. Now, the reason I did this is because I didn't really have anything else that wanted to take close combat besides maybe my Tentacool, but even that probably didn't want to because it's not physically defensive, and I obviously can easily get killed by Facade next turn. So that my close combat does take him out, but I think that could have easily been because of the fact that I got a crit, but I don't think so because I know Grand Bull is more bulky, so whatever. So I do go. That allows me, because I did survive, to go for Facade on this incoming Arbok. And oh my god, that Arbok lives just a hair. That is ridiculous. My past videos, my opponents have been living with just smidgens. But whatever. That just allows me to go into my Dark type that I cannot name. I know the pre-evo Purloin, I just don't know what this guy's called. And go for a Night Slash. So at this point, I think my opponent's down to his last guy, which is this, wow. I know this guy's name. I just knew it. Okay, well, I know he's gonna definitely set up because that's all Shuckle. That's all Shuckle's really like doing. Toxic or Shell Smash or Power Swap or whatever. So do you go for Taunt before you turning out? He does go for Wrap, was it? Which is actually kind of interesting, which normally would trap me in, but I do have U-turn, so I can just switch out into my Water type, which is good because I can obviously threaten, well, not threaten it out because this is my opponent's last Pokemon, but I can do massive damage with the Water type move. So unfortunately, that switch did burn up one turn of Taunt, and because he went after me, I actually only have one turn of Taunt left. But I'm just hoping that this Surf will be a 2-hit KO, and seeing that damage, it does look like it even after leftovers, so that's really cool. If I didn't have a Taunter, this Shuckle might have had a chance to win because my opponent said that it was a Shell Smash Toxic Stalling one, which actually normally give me a lot of trouble, but I did have a pretty good counters to it with this team with a Taunter and 2 Water types. So second Surf will take out my opponent in the Shuckle, and that's gonna be the game. So that was a really good game. Moie, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Had a lot of fun, and I hope you did too. But yeah, Moie actually did ask me to put the set for that Dustox in the description, and Moie asked me to do this because it actually seems like it's a really effective set. It's a Roost, Iron Defense, Quiver Dance, and Bug Buzz set, obviously meant to max out all the stats, and which obviously means that if you do get set up with it, that thing can really destroy a team and just sweep an entire team, which it almost did mine, and I got kind of lucky with that early crit. But that seems like a really cool set. I might try it out. You guys should too. And finally, before I leave you, I wanted to point out this is my 50th Wi-Fi battle. I was thinking of doing something special for this, but I just kind of didn't have any inspiration, and did want to get into the habit of actually posting a little bit more regularly. So I hope I will continue doing that, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and that's pretty much it. Bye. I'm back. I lied. I'm not quite done talking yet. I am going to be posting in the near future some video game, non-Pokemon related stuff, Skyrim, Gears of War 3, and Call of Duty. If you guys want to check that out, you should watch out for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed. For the real this time, goodbye.